Hi Pisces, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your June 2024 tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at the astrological energies of the month of June, look back into May and see what energy you're bringing into this month. This is a big month, Pisces. I feel like I say that every month, but it really is. We have Saturn retrograding by month's end. We have the summer solstice on June 20th. So really good way for you to reconnect with what your goals were when you started 2024. I have uploaded 4 videos based on what element you are. Do take a look at those. I left a link in the description box below. Really take a look at mid-year 2024. Where is it that you need to course correct or possibly make new goals? I go month by month from January through June, taking a look at where you have come. So I will leave the link below, as well as take a look at the description box for all the important dates for June. All right, you all, let's go week by week. You start off the first week of June with the 8 of Wands, as well as the Queen of Swords in reverse. So many signs are getting Queen of Swords. Second week, you have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, as well as the King of Wands also in reverse. Third week of the month, 7 of Cups, as well as the 8 of Cups in reverse. Last week of the month finds you with the Judgment card, Major Arcana, and the 2 of Swords, another card that has been coming up often. So what I have been telling many of the signs, Pisces, is that we are into all of this Gemini energy here as we start off the month. So lots of conversations going on, lots of opinions going on. So make sure that you're not getting too bogged down by other people's decisions or their conversations. Make sure you don't get into herd mentality during this month. It's always easy with all this Gemini energy, okay? Let's go ahead and pull a card representing the energy you moved out of May with. Spirit, if you can send Pisces a card representing the energies they bring into the month of June. And you have the 2 of Wands in reverse. So for many of you all, Pisces, this could have been, May could have been a month that you were really concerned about where you're going, making new plans. I do think that many of you had some good plans, but then maybe they went awry or, through all of the eclipse cycle and everything that went on with Mercury retrograde. It feels like this 2 of Wands is like you had good plans, but they didn't necessarily go as to plan, if that makes sense. So during this month, Pisces, take a look at where you want to go, make new goals. Don't let this deter you from getting to where you want to go. I do think that sometimes when we get knocked off of our path, we assume that it's the wrong path. Sometimes it's leading us to the right one, right? So just keep moving forward. All right, Pisces, let's go ahead and ask Spirit to send you an oracle message here for the month of June. And you have sacrifice number 12. So for some of you, sacrifice has been a big theme. I do think, Pisces, for Saturn being in your sign, I do think that the challenge always when Saturn is going through your sign is that you are learning lessons that aren't always comfortable, but after you come through them, you realize it was necessary. And I do feel like there's going to be sacrifices made possibly during this month, but also since Saturn is retrograding in your sign by the end of the month, this could be a month where you're looking back to what it is you have accomplished, what lessons has Saturn taught you as it has been transiting through your sign. And then you will start maybe revisiting some of those themes as Saturn retrogrades in Pisces beginning on June 29th. So just keep this in mind, that it is important that sacrifice is made, but you will benefit at the end. And so I think that that's always important, Pisces, especially when you go through these months where it's like so much putting out of energy that you don't know if you're getting it reciprocated, right? So I do think when you start off the first part of the month, lots of conversations going on with that Eight of Wands, and someone in a decision making area could be coming to you, asking for things at work, asking for, you could just have a lot going on in your family life. It just feels like there's something here though with the work stuff, with that Three of Pentacles, all this in reverse, Queen, King of Wands, Three of Pentacles. That's like that energy of like too many cooks in the kitchen, but also conversations being had on probably a senior management level, trickling down to those who have to do the work. No one agrees with it. It's just, it feels like busy work. That's what I feel here. It's like busy work, and it coming from people who have authority but don't really know what's going on. And then it feels like by the time you get to this third week though, 7 and 8 of Cups, really interesting. Lots of emotional options are going to start coming up for you, and you're going to have to decide whether you want to take them or leave them, okay? By the time you end the month, big decision made here, right? Two of Swords or Judgment card. You're being asked, Pisces, to make a huge decision by the time we get to Saturn retrograde in your sign. So be prepared for that, okay? All right, so we start off the month off the heels of Venus and Jupiter both entering into the sign of Gemini. By the time we start the month, we now have Mercury entering Gemini on the 3rd, and we have a Gemini new moon on the 6th. Be prepared also for busy work that seems like it's just making you spin your wheels. I do feel like some of you are having either bosses or organizations, or and this could even be out in your family life. It could be just like your spouse or partner is like giving you all these honey to-do lists that you're like, okay, this is not what I need to be using my time for. It feels like with that Queen of Swords and Eight of Wands, just be prepared that some type of news comes to you that you're like, okay, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. That is going to be like the theme, I feel like, throughout the month. And I do feel like at your work, it does feel like people are not getting along to the point where it's almost like, it feels like you are on a team, maybe have to do a presentation, or someone is not holding up their end of the deal, right? Like everyone was assigned X amount of work, and it feels like only 2/3 of the group are doing what they need to do. And that King of Wands, I don't know, it just feels like a little too much Gemini energy here, where Mercury and Jupiter conjunct in Gemini on the 4th, Mars enters Taurus on the 9th. Conversations here could get a little murky, where it just feels like everyone doesn't want to hold up the end of their bargain. But also with the King of Wands, it's like good conversations could be had, but it's almost like you don't hear them because there's like too much like discord in here. So just be prepared for that. The first half of June just feels like conversations and people are just like all over the place. Now, by the time you get to the 3rd week of June, this is when we do have Mercury and Venus entering into Cancer. And then we have that summer solstice when the sun enters Cancer on June 20th. Pisces, at this time, I do think there's a lot of emotional energy going on. Lots of watery Cancerian energy. You all, as a fellow water sign, are very comfortable with all this emotional water energy. But just know there's so many options that need to be made, and I do think that you're feeling a little bit like you're drowning in all of these emotions. Like, yeah, you're comfortable in them, but it doesn't mean you want to stay in them all the time, right? And I do feel like some of you all could be contemplating whether you need to move away from this organization, this job. Some of you all will take on, you might start looking for other jobs during this time, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, by the time you end the month, like I said, we have Saturn retrograding in your sign on the 29th, and we have a Capricorn full moon on June 21st. During this time, big decisions could come down the pipeline. They could be announced. You could be ending a cycle here with yourself or with an organization. Big decisions, like I said, have to be made by time you end the month. And I do feel like you don't know what to do. I do think that this could play out into July and maybe even stretch out into August, just because now that Saturn is retrograde, I do feel like you're going to go over some themes that you've gone over before. And Saturn is obviously trying to help you learn some type of lesson here. So just keep that in mind. There will be some sacrifices that have to be made, but I do think that overall you all are going to come out in a much better place once you get through Saturn in your sign. So don't just hold on tight. Don't worry. You'll make it through. I promise. All right, Pisces, I hope this was helpful for you. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs in this video series. Have a great June, and I'll talk to you later.